me if I'm wrong, but you told us not to plan our conversations, but then you said what we say, how we say, who we are saying it to. It matters. Which one is it? Are you on the Patreon, Cash the Kazikaga? Just answer this question for me quick. Are you on the Patreon? Have you seen that video where I went in depth on that on the Patreon? Because I know the answer, but I'm asking you directly. I know the answer is no. I know the answer is no, because what I meant when I said what we say, how we say it, who we're saying it to, and who I am, that's the fourth level, who I am to the person I'm saying it to, that has nothing to do with planning a conversation. So what are you talking about? That has nothing to do with planning a conversation. So I know you don't know what you're talking about. I know you probably watched a plug or watched the stream or watched or was here when I said it. So you're trying to take like the bare minimum of me saying it and think you know what I was talking about, but you don't. So this is why when y'all ask dumbass questions like this, you took the bare minimum, and I could tell because it's my shit, so I know what I'm talking about. How did you go about uncovering any unconscious beliefs you had, and how did you go about reestablishing new beliefs? Have you also heard of the law of assumption? Well, again, that's a deep level of self-awareness. And I talked a lot about that in that video of self-mastery I dropped, where I talked about, and you combine that level, the video of self-mastery, you combine the video like with that, like the allegory of the cave. It takes being very honest. It takes being very direct, looking yourself in the mirror and being fully honest with all the realities and truths that come with you. Observing yourself outside of yourself. Now, you don't have to physically, literally look in a mirror and look yourself in the eyes. But you got to be able to look at yourself with no bias, no emotion. Just break yourself down. Analyze yourself. Observe yourself. Study yourself. Why do I think the way I do? Why do I act the way I act? Why do I assume the things that I assume? Why do I believe in the things that I believe? Work backwards to the root of everything. Video is so crispy. Love it. Appreciate that. So, Kashta Kazikaga, I noticed that you didn't say a message. You didn't send one message after you asked that question. I was waiting for you to say, no, I'm not on the Patreon, so I don't know what you were talking about when you said it. I only heard you say it on Twitch, or I saw a plug posted and I tried to run with it. I wasn't for sure. You stood in it. Chat. He asked me this question. Then I said, are you on a Patreon? He said, I wasn't for sure. That's why I said, correct me if I'm wrong. You didn't even answer the question. You didn't even answer the question. And I'm not even asking you in a way that I'm telling you like, okay, go pay for the Patreon. I'm asking you in a way that I know you don't know what I was talking about when I said it. So now you're trying to ask another question because you're confused. That's my point I'm trying to make here. Just D Wall, I appreciate the T1 sub. Right. Do not listen. Let me give you some context. Now, Patreon niggas, I'm not gonna leak, and I don't have to because I know how to talk about my shit without leaking. And add some new shit. When I say don't plan out the conversation, and let's take that first statement. This is what you're comparing. You're comparing me saying don't plan out a conversation, and then the second statement, which was, it's basic to think that it's not what you say, it's how you say it. That's basic. That just only focuses on delivery. Oh, say it more respectfully. Say it, watch your tone of voice. That's basic. When you reach a high level of game in life, what the fuck? When you reach a high level of game in life, guess what? What you say matters because you're intentional with every word that you choose. You're not just chatting. What you say, actually, you're picking your words intentionally, which is why, like I said, I can have a 20-minute conversation with a woman and beat anything you said over the course of a week because our 20-minute conversation was so clear, concise. Our conversation flowed with precision with my words. My impact was greater than your entire week of texting her, calling her, and spending time with her. I made a greater impact in a shorter time period because everything I did was so effective. What I said mattered. And what you said was fluff and bullshit. So it had a lot of mixed bullshit in it. That's the what you say. Then the how you say it, we add that in there. Then we add details I'm not going to leak. Like who you're saying it to and who you are to them. Not going to leak that. Now I'm going to connect the dots between not planning your conversation and that second statement. Not planning your conversation is about you don't want to be rigid. You don't want to be like when you plan your conversation out, you can't adapt. And if you can't adapt, you can't say the best thing at the best time because you planned it out. Timing is not about fucking planning shit out. Timing is about shit. Sometimes you take advantage of an opportunity, a window that opens that wasn't always there. Shit, she might say something and I might not have predicted that's what she was going to say. It might be bolder than I thought she was going to say. So I say, oh, now I actually can say this earlier or faster or here's a perfect time to say this. I don't like if I plan it out, I'm trying to I don't have that adaptability. I don't have that flow, that fluidity to be able to say the best thing at the best time because I'm not present in what's going on. I'm not using the opportunities I have in front of me. I'm trying to think about my plan. Do that make sense, chat? Chess, make your move based on your opponent's moves. Don't think about your moves first. No, I still can be 10 moves ahead of my opponent. But at the same time, they make a move, which now, I don't even need my 10 moves. I can only get my goal in 5. Actually, that makes sense. Let's say I make a chess plan, right? To win in 15 moves. But they do some shit. I now can win in 7. So am I supposed to stick to my plan or am I supposed to win in 7? Y'all tell me. What am I supposed to do, chat? Am I supposed to stick to my plan, which had me winning in 15 moves? Or am I supposed to adapt and adjust and win in 7 now because of what happened? That's why you don't want to plan out your content. That's why you don't want to be all like strict and rigid. Because you become rigid. You become like stiff. You can't move. You can't. I hope this is making sense. Now your goal is still the same. Checkmate, right? You whether you do it in 15 moves, 7 moves, game 7, game 3, or game 4, or whatever. That's why you don't want to plan it out. It can go better than your plan. You could be better than your plan. Somebody just DM me something and said, talking shit be so fun.